Hey folks, welcome back to Endless Ocean Blue World. I'm here in the spooky underwater castle with Kabanaw
Hello.
and Dicktron.
Howdy.
So, what are the things you guys think when you think about the scary stuff? Like, what is the scariest thing in the world to you?
The unknown.
The unknown?
Disappointment.
Disappointment? Those are good answers.
Well,
okay.
and Dracula.
Well, yes, of course. Well, one thing that a lot of people are afraid of, it's the sea. A lot of people are definitely afraid of the sea. It's kind of silly, but hey, whatever.
I mean, if
People
I'm
really
like swimming in water that's like too deep for me to touch, I get a little freaked out, you know?
Well,
I don't know why you'd have that problem with the ocean, but
I don't know about that. Well, what if we combined the sea, the night, ghosts, and Dracula's castle?
it sounds like a good time.
I know.
Sounds like a
So,
party.
welcome to Castlevania. Underwater edition. This is like, I don't know, what are underwater portions of Castlevania stages? There's...
Castlevania Dirge of the Deep. That's what that game would be called.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, most Castlevania games have underwater sections, but yeah.
Yeah.
Those sections tend to be not fantastic, though.
Yeah, but like Echo the Dolphin Castlevania?
Does that involve, like, Echo the Dolphin, like...
Starring a Dolphin Belmont?
Like, does he, like, spin flip through, like, Dracula's torso at some point, or what?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Sure. Okay, I'm convinced. Let's get Konami on the line. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, who owns the Echo license? Is that Sega?
It's probably Sega.
Well, Sega's dead, so
It's
I mean,
probably
we could probably
no
pick this
one.
off the corpse.
At this point.
Hmm.
I bet no one actually wants to own the Echo license.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, they did try for a while there to make a lot of Echo the Dolphin games.
Okay, I believe that no publisher wants to own Echo Dolphin license.
Sure.
There are
See,
fans
the
that
publisher
would.
was Sega. The developer was Appaloosa Interactive. Okay. I've never heard of this company before.
Yeah, those guys.
They
Apparently
made all
they're-
my favorite games, like the ones that they made. They got Echo Dolphin, you got whatever else they had.
You got the
My
Dreamcast
best.
Echo the Dolphin?
Yes, I like it.
The most recent game that they made apparently was that Jaws Unleashed game, so they stayed true to
Oh.
form, I guess.
They just love them some fish.
That's true of many people. I mean, take for instance myself. Whoa, wait a minute. They made Castlevania for the Amiga.
Oh,
Oh.
We
damn.
found a connection here.
That's
Oh,
powerful.
shit.
So they kind of
I
already
mean-
have the rights to both licenses.
I mean, kinda, yeah. They could have made like Castlevania Echo for the Amiga. I mean, that would have kind of worked out in theory.
How did all this shit stay together? Is Dracula's castle got some kind of anti-rust?
It's the
Enchantment
power of
going on?
chaos. Have you learned nothing?
If you were to actually touch any of those weapons, they would come to life and then, attack you.
Well, theoretically, yes, they could, but I don't know. Like, I think we're in the Dracula is sleeping at the moment type thing. Except we keep on feeling this ghostly presence haunting us.
I mean, this game came out after 1999. He's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just chaos.
Important question, how many skeletons are there in this castle?
We haven't found any as of yet, but the night is still young.
Let us go out this evening for pleasure.
Yes, exactly. I mean, skeletons typically don't last. I mean, they last a fair bit in the ocean, depending where they land. I mean, we do find with like whale falls, you find whale skeletons and stuff. Lots of being picked clean completely. Then the bones themselves also get picked apart by all sorts of undersea goodies. So it's kind of just that's how things do.
Yeah, like the
skeletons don't last long.
like the echinoderms that just kind of expel their stomach and then vomit all over something, right? Those
Yeah.
will eat the bones pretty much.
Yeah, those, and then but you also have all sorts of worms and I think lampreys do a lot of stuff. I mean, everything eventually bacteria eventually will consume the bones and whatnot, Though, I mean, there's certain places where, like, even stuff like wood, like, they've found, like, ancient, like, shipwrecks, like, under the water. Like, the ship went down, in, like, 1604, and we found it pretty much intact because, blah, 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 blah. It was just deep enough, or if it was just sandy enough, or whatever.
And they also usually get coated in barnacles, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, like, that creates some kind of sealing effect on the wood as well.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know shit about this, so I'm making shit up. But
I am skeptical of the fact because barnacles typically don't have 100% coverage, and the time it takes for barnacles to accrue while fast, usually if like stuff natural like living material dies or it's underwater for a long time, I would think it would start getting consumed faster than that.
yeah,
No,
fair enough.
I think I'm gonna go with barnacles. Give the gift of immortality. That sounds more reasonable to me.
Well, that I think Red, if he were here, would claim that's not true, given how many billions of barnacles he's had to kill with knife in hand.
Yeah, and how much has he aged since then?
He's probably shot multiple barnacles with guns. So if that's the
I
case,
think
you're
here's
saying
the
that.
thing. I think here's the thing is that the barnacles grant the gift of immortality literally, so you have to appease the barnacles first.
So
Of course,
are you,
Red would.
doesn't that basically make Red like the anti-life?
Yeah, he's Barnacle Satan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. He is Barnacle Satan. He's he's Barnacle, like the Barnacle Grim Reaper.
Yeah, there you go.
He's the thing that, barnacles tell their barnacle children about to, when they were jettisoning larvae. It's like, by the way, before you fly away into, nothingness away from me, watch out for this fucking guy, because he'll fucking kill you dead. And they'll be really angry about it, because our bodies are just fucking shatter everywhere. But anyways, we're looking for a ghost.
I don't know. I haven't
gonna
seen
get
many
spooked.
ghosts.
I mean, we've seen fish.
Yeah, we've seen lots of fish.
We saw this dolphin, this false killer whale. He's not a ghost. He's something.
What is a ghost dolphin?
I would like to give a Red update because I just got a tweet from him. He just said action botany and then punched an orchid. So there's the Red bit for this update, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
That's our fact about red.
That and the barnacle thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, ghost!
Ghost, come on. Manta rays aren't ghosts.
But it's a spooky manta ray.
Oh, who'd have thunk it was a fish?
He does look like a skeleton. Look at him.
I do
He's
appreciate
got
Who'da thunk?
skeleton markings on his chest. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I can respect that.
Dolphin
Manta
fish is like, I like it too. He's my buddy.
Dolphin fish, we didn't ask for your
Uh-oh.
opinion. Get out.
That dolphin fish was a ghost. It went through our torso.
We found the ghost.
I mean, frankly, it's like you could have a lot of, fish underwater be ghosts. Who would notice,
Yeah.
They keep to themselves.
Statistically,
ghosts just
about
don't
a
exist
quarter
after
of
all.
fish. Yeah,
As a ghost
statistically
phases through
about
your
a
torso.
quarter of fish underwater are actually just ghosts. You can't touch them because they just phase right through them. Can't eat them. They're just all dead. You get up to, entire ghost schools of fish, even.
So wait, doesn't that have significant effects on overfishing? If most fish are ghosts?
No, it's
Well-
only a quarter of fish are ghosts. Did you
Well,
not
right, but after
estimate?
fishing them, if we can't fish the ghosts,
That's not how ghosts are made.
Also, this manta ray might be Dracula.
okay.
So
Dracula's like a ghost.
That's in the book. You can turn
Well,
it
I mean,
into-
that's they just said it's like, oh, he goes around the place that the prince of this castle used to live. So either he's Dracula or or rather not Dracula, and he serves him or something.
I mean, that makes sense. You've got the four forms of Dracula. You got the mist, you got the bats, you got the dog, and then you got the manta ray.
Yeah, I mean, he needs something for water use, so it makes sense.
Mhm.
And in fact, I'm hearing this, I'm considering it, and I'm internalizing it. That is now canon. It's like, yeah. Makes sense.
You found an
Here's a
entire
bunch.
mannequin?
Yeah, Dracula collected mannequins and primitive idols. I mean, also this creepy doll.
Worth more than a German doll, I'll have you know.
Well,
People pay for
painting
creepy
of
stuff.
flowers, a bunch of lead, you know, because why not?
Just gonna pick up some lead off the...
And apparently, the prince of this castle beat up some pirates at some point and just store a barrel of gold in there. Like, you fuckers.
That has to be worth way more than $3,800.
You would think that. But keep in mind, it's 3,800 pelagos, so we don't know how their currency system works.
Yeah, but a single, like, a ring is worth like 300?
They're really good rings. I don't know, man.
Some of them were like made of rock and shit.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said of how fucked this game's economy is. Let's be honest here.
Damn.
Right.
I mean, I would say that there's a lot of things to complain about this game's economy. So it occurred to me while I was in the middle of doing all this grinding for money, because we, again, need 1 million pelagos in order to do the end game of this game. What the fuck? And I never actually showed a lot of the back corners of this island. And in the process of doing so, I actually discovered something I didn't notice back here. So we're going to go on this journey of discovery together of something I'm pretty sure most people probably wouldn't know about. Not that most people know much about this game anyways, but...
I really hope you just find a whole bunch of baby turtles.
That would be great. Instead, I found that there's a take a shower option. Because, you know, this game is made in Japan. But the thing is, I don't understand why this is here. It's like, It's like, well, obviously you'd have to have fresh water somewhere. Maybe if you were in a swimsuit. It's like, what? And I was thinking, it's like, but you're always on clothes on the island. But then I realized what they were trying to get you to do. They're trying to get you and change your default swimming outfit to a bikini and go over there. Which is really weird. And I'm just going to only show up for the fact that I was recording this and it's like, are they really doing this? And the answer is yes. Yes, they are. I'm not quite sure why, but this is a thing that's in this game apparently. I don't know.
Huh.
This game's mostly for, you know, it doesn't really seem to jive with the audience. And it's not like it's even particularly like, it's not like it's a gratuitous thing or anything. It's
You're just cleaning.
weird. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like, why did they put in the effort to do this? It's like, it kind of makes sense that it's there, but I don't understand why.
Nadine, your first shower in 58 episodes and just stand under a sprinkler for like half a minute.
It's like, yep, I'm done, okay. Let's get back to work.
You are filthy. God.
You could have been showering this entire time. Is there a secret, like, cleanliness meter?
Well, that would explain a lot. But keep in mind, we have been going into the ocean a lot, so we're getting clean. It's just we're getting really salty.
It's just
Like her
just
hair
coating of
probably
salt
was falling apart
all
in, like,
over her
clumps.
body. Whenever she moves, you can hear
Tycho!
the cracking. Oh, nice, Taco. That's pretty cool. You can hear her, like, every time a joint moves, you can hear the cracking of a thin layer of salt that just
Animals keep
coats her
trying to-
entire body.
Animals keep trying to use her as a salt lick.
That's how we got that dog. Dog was like, wait a minute. I think we're onto something here. Here's another thing I found in Dracula's castle. It's a specimen tube.
A monster vial. You just throw that onto the ground and it just summons up a skeleton.
It apparently, unsurprisingly, the prince of that castle, of Volca Castle, was in fact breeding something hideous and obscene.
Dracula had a
Affront
figure of
to
a guy
God.
with a guy with a guitar in his castle.
He had excellent taste.
Well, some of that stuff may have also been from South America. I
Okay.
don't know.
All right.
But that may have also been from Dracula's castle. Like, it actually washed up in there. Or time machine. Who knows?
He really enjoyed the 80s. It would make sense that Dracula would enjoy the 80s.
It probably would, actually, yeah. Taiko drums are pretty neat.
Mhm.
Turning mysteriously. Floating in unknown liquid.
We should probably send this in to, like, a scientist, but
Nah, sell on the black market.
it's like, yeah, well, no. I mean, we found Nessie earlier, and I'm like, we can't tell anybody about it. So, who knows? We heard that you were rubbing electricity on animals, so we sent you money.
Slightly more money than you got paid for a barrel of gold.
Do you want to know how sick the animals you cured were? Yeah, I want to know how fucking ill they were. Very ill. Seriously ill. Critically ill. And ones that just didn't need it at all. You just were just electrocuting them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I carry a stun gun with me at all times to just zap dogs when I see them. I'm doing good work.
Amen.
I wanted to talk to you about that, actually.
I've swam a lot. I am, in fact, a champion swimmer. So, there's a weird portion of this game that I've shown only once, and I think I've mentioned a few times, called, like, the private garden, where you can buy coral and receive coral for finding certain legendary, or decorations, basically, and fill up this garden called the private reef. And you basically shove random crap in here, and the entire point is that there's certain achievements in the game that you get only for releasing certain amounts of fish here, because you're basically trying to accrue fish and then release them back into the wild. So, the way the system works for this is really dumb, because you could just, by naturally, you just think, well, I'll just put random stuff in here. But the thing is that different objects attract certain types of fish, and in order to actually get these achievements, you're not going for variety, you're going purely for count. So there's certain things, like say this giant barrel sponge, which will attract, say a dozen small fish. And so you just want to basically have, you want variety, but you also just want tons of shit. And so basically all you need to do is you set them down here, you leave, you come back, you'll see that some fish have been attracted. Then you go through there and just feed a bunch of everything. You start using your electrical zappy gun to heal any fish that looks sick. You leave, you come back. When you come back, you'll find that more fish have shown up and are sick and hungry. You feed, you heal some more, you come back, and you basically do this like a dozen times, and then eventually you'll have a massive fish count in here of like, I don't know, like several thousand. And then you basically release that in order to get in-game achievements. And in the process, you also get money for doing this, like, because apparently you're like, yeah, you helped breed up a bunch of red cornet fish that shouldn't be here and released it into the sea. Good job. So this weird thing that they put in here, they put this weird fish-raising mini-game, but it's not very interesting. On the other hand, I found a bunch of articles online of people like trying to research and figure out how the fuck it works. So I guess some people are into it, I guess.
Huh. That's really bizarre, yeah.
Yeah, because it's such a minor portion of this game. I'm just kind of confused why they put so much damn effort into it. And basically, certain objects are terrible in that they'll like summon like a dolphin. And the thing is, like, all they care about for releasing stuff from here is what you're releasing, or how much you're releasing. So if you get a bunch of the dolphin stuff, you'll have like 12 dolphins, and that'll be like, well, that didn't do shit.
What the fuck are you breeding dolphins for? We don't need any more of these. Just dunk them in the trash.
Pretty much. And,
You need to get like a whole bunch of guppies and krill. That's it. That's all we need.
I mean, that is basically how the game cares about it. It's not biodiversity that they want bioquantity. The one little benefit of the private reef is that you can put stuff down for certain fish. Like if you have like you need to photograph this fish, it doesn't have to actually be in its wild habitat. You can just photograph it in your stupid private reef. So if you know what thing summons what fish, you can do it that way too. Which is not really as beneficial as it could be. So I'd like to point out that I've gained like only like 80,000 between these separate things. So grinding. Crystal balls. Invisible orb.
So where just freaks me out now.
Tiny little Mazinger.
Okay. You just picked up a magazine
Oh
you
man,
found?
that statue looks rad.
Yeah, that statue's great. And yes, I just found the statue, and also I found this pharaoh statue
You found
in South America.
You found Tutankhamun's sarcophagus? What the
In
hell?
South America. In a river.
Huh.
Then again, they just had a thing, like a news story recently, that they found like some mummies in like a drainage ditch in like Egypt, so I don't know.
How did they get there? Hint?
Someone just dumped them.
Aliens.
Oh my god.
I like the idea of just, no, got a whole bunch of surplus mummies, just dump them into a ditch.
It's probably what actually, or like, it's like, oh shit, the military's here to arrest us for stealing all these mummies. We gotta dump them. I know. Throw it in the garbage.
Like,
It's come up a couple of times that I apparently think that just dumping shit into the garbage is the epitome of humor, so I guess that's just my life now.
I wonder, like, the idea of surplus mummies made me feel like there was some sort of commodity. Like, people would buy and sell mummies as, like, or they'd use it to pay for goods.
I mean, one weird thing that they used to do with like Egyptian mummies is that they used to like extract pigment from them, which is really weird.
There was a mummy yellow, right? And it was
or
really
brown or something, and they basically they would also grind it. So they basically stick a mummy in a grinder and just grind it out, and there would be parties where people like would eat like mummy stuff, and it's really weird.
Yeah, and there was also parties where like the main attraction was unraveling a mummy.
Yeah, the treatment of mummies in like the 17th century and to like the 19th century was really weird. Like mummified cats were like sent to England to be processed into fertilizer and stuff. It's just weird. But yeah, mummia was like treated as like a medical thing, so people would drink mummy stuff. And then basically part of that was coming from the fact that the stuff that they used to preserve the mummies was so rare and nobody really knew how to really reproduce it that they would process the pitch from, the mummies' bodies themselves.
You just found a hunk of solid platinum, holy shit.
Someone's probably shipping it, and then they threw it at a fish they didn't like the look of.
That's a lot of money to hit on a fish.
Yeah.
They really did not like how that fish looked. Like, they were kind of being a little racist there, I presume, but, species.
Fish racism, yeah.
Sometimes you just see a fish you don't like the looks like, and you have to let it know that is one ugly-ass fish. I mean, we've all been there. We've all seen the Asian... Look at the Asian sheep's head wrasse. I mean, I wouldn't throw something at it, but I would be like, damn, you're one ugly motherfucker. I mean, that's just me personally, because that is one ugly-ass fish.
I can respect that.
I love it. I love how ugly it is. Don't get me wrong, I think it's fantastic how hideous it is. But I would let that fish know to its damn face that it is an ugly fucking fish. That fish's mother, who is also just as ugly, would look at it and be like, damn, son, you are ugly.
Maybe they'll just say that to each other.
Yeah, that's what they're all like, hey, bro, you're looking ugly as fuck. Like, yeah, bro, you looking ugly as fuck, too.
It's just their greeting.
Then they bump their weird-ass fucking head lumps on each other, and it's like, yeah, fist bump, or no, bump.
A fish not even a mother could love.
Yeah. I got a thing from selling stuff, and yet not enough selling stuff to get through this damn game.